back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, or if you've never been here before, welcome. My name's Rachel and I'm the owner and creator here at the Eclectic Cottage in Spokane, Washington. Today's Tuesday and I have yet another thrift flip for you. Today's video, I finished 3 projects. One of them was an end table, so technically it's a furniture flip, but whatever. We're just gonna go with thrift flip for this video. And I think they all turned out really well. I hope you like them. And if you do and you like the video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. I so appreciate that. And if you're new here and you haven't already, I would love it if you think about subscribing to my channel and then just hit that little notification bell so you don't miss anything. I hope you guys like all the projects. I would love to hear your thoughts at the end of the video, so please let me know what you think. And if you have a favorite, I'd love to know that too. So without further ado, let's get on to today's projects. Project 1 is this little tabletop cabinet that I bought a long time ago, honestly, and I'd set it aside because I realized when I got it home it was broken. So I decided it's time to get it fixed and painted and out the door. So I'm going in with some IOD Air Dry Clay and I am molding a new leg for this. So I did that by kind of using the other leg as a template, and once I got my leg created, I glued everything down with some E6000 glue and just kind of, like I said, molded it into shape and then made sure that it was where it needed to be, and then I set it aside and let it cure for a little while. Once the clay had set up, I was ready for paint, and I am going in on this piece with DIY's Little Black Dress, which is this beautiful, beautiful, classy black color. I wanted to use a dark color because I only wanted to have to paint this one time so that I didn't inadvertently make it so that the drawers wouldn't slide in and out of this piece. So here I am just getting that coat of paint inside the drawers and also on the outside. I decided that I wanted to decoupage the front of the drawers. So instead of using the black on the fronts, I went in with 2 good even coats of DIY white Swan on the front of each of the drawers. Now, you don't have to put white paint underneath your decoupage paper, but it really does help that paper stand out and all of the beautiful floral images really pop against that white background. So I took my little piece that I had left and cut it in half, and I'm using DIY's liquid patina, 1 good even coat, and then I'm placing my paper over the fronts of the drawers and smoothing it out with my hands and then going over it again with another coat of the liquid patina. It's a pretty simple process. I did make sure that my paper was somewhat lined up so that once the drawers were in, the pattern matched up pretty well. And then once that was done and the liquid patina was completely dry, I went in with some, this is 120 sandpaper. I couldn't find my 220, so it's a little rough, but in a downward sweeping motion, I am just basically cutting that decoupage paper away from the sides of the drawer. Once that was done, it's time to seal my piece, and for that I'm using DIY's Big Top. So I'm doing 1 good even coat of Big Top, front, back, inside, outside, sides, top and bottom, to make sure that this piece is completely sealed. I give the same treatments to the drawers as well, and then it's on to finishing touches. So I really like the little knobs that came with this cabinet, but they were very dark. So I am taking gold gilding wax and going around each of the tops of them with just my finger and just a little bit of that gold gilding wax and just rubbing that into the knobs. You can see the difference there. Now this gilding wax that I'm using is not DIY's, but the DIY gilding wax works just the same way. It's called Golden Rule, and it is available on my website at www.theeclecticcottagespokane.com, as well as all of the other paints and products that I used from DIY and Sweet Pickins in this video. Anyway, I finished off the cabinet with some more gilding wax just around the base and the top of this piece to add a touch of elegance. and I put the drawers back in, and I absolutely love how this little cabinet has been transformed. Project 2 is this old lamp that I've had sitting around in my storage area for quite a while now. And with this thing, the bottom of it was brass, the top of it was wood. So I decided to just go ahead and paint the entire thing with one color. And I decided on DIY's Faded Burlap, which is this really beautiful kind of taupey color. This is a great neutral that fits in with just about anything. So I'm giving this 2 good even coats, kind of trying to be careful to go in the same direction with my brush strokes, because I know that I want my finish coat to kind of bring those brush strokes back out a little bit and give that some texture. Once that was done and both coats of paint were nice and dry, I went into distress. Now this was a little bit of a challenge because I didn't want to distress the brass back, only the wood. So to keep a uniform color, what I did is I distressed the top, and then for the bottom, I got out a DIY paint color called Layered Chocolate, and I just dabbed my finger into the paint and then dabbed that paint onto any raised areas that I normally would have distressed. Same kind of look, and this was a good match for the wood on the top of the lamp. I did go back with a damp shop towel and clean up a couple places where I put a little too much paint, but I really like how it turned out, and it matches the wood tone of the lamp pretty well. Then it was time to seal the paint, and for that I'm using DIY's clear wax, and just with my soft bristle brush, brushing that wax on and then wiping back any excess with my shop towel. Then it's time to finish this piece, and what I'm using is going to be the DIY's Decrepit Dust in Dark. And this is really easy to work with. It's a powder, and I'm using a pointy tip brush, and I simply dip the tip of the brush into the powder and place that anywhere where I want it to look just a little bit more patinaed or aged or grungy. So I'm putting it really heavy in all the cracks and crevices, and then just doing a really light coat over the other parts of the lamp. So you can see here, just again, going up the lamp and putting really heavy distressing, I guess, into all the little cracks and crevices, and then going back really lightly over the bulk of the lamp with a little bit of the Decrepit Dust. Just kind of brings those brush strokes out, and again, gives it more texture. And it was a beautiful effect on this lamp. My third and final project for today's video is this end table. I've had this for a while now, and I have moved it so many times to try and keep it out of the way, and I figured it was time to get it finished and out on the floor. So I am going in with some crud cutter first and then some clean water to get this thing nice and clean and ready for paint. I decided to go with Sweet Pickins milk paint in the color Creamy for this piece, and Creamy is a really nice color. It's a little bit off-white. It reminds me a lot of DIY's Crinoline. And the thing with milk paint is it is a little bit more thin than the DIY chalk paint, so it did require 3 coats of paint. But I absolutely love the way that milk paint sets up. It gives such a nice, beautiful, smooth eggshell finish to a piece of furniture. And that is basically why I tend to use it for furniture more than any other kind of paint. Now, since this piece had kind of a slick finish on it, I did add extra bond to my paint in the prescribed amount. So it's 1 part paint, 1 part water, and then half again as much extra bond. The only thing I did wrong with this piece is I did not add extra bond to my second layer of paint because I had heard from other people that you didn't need to. But as soon as it dried, I ended up with some chipping, which I really wasn't looking for. But I did try to chip the paint off and repaint just those areas. It didn't really help anything. So I decided in the end to just go with it. So once the paint was completely dry, I took it outside and started sanding. For that, I'm using my orbital sander with some 220 grit sandpaper. And you can see where the paint that I was talking about just chipped right off that leg and a little bit off of the other one. So what I did to kind of mimic that all over was really distress this heavily so that it kind of all blended together and the entire piece just had that nice, beautiful, chippy old farmhouse look to it. So like I said, I just embraced the chippy for this piece because I was done fighting with this end table. So I think honestly it turned out pretty cute, and you'll see what it looks like at the end here after it's sealed. So the next step is sealing it, and for that I am using Sweet Pickins oil wax in dark. Now I know this looks really scary when you first put it on. It almost looks like you're painting your piece with mud, and then you have to leave it that way for about 15 minutes before you wipe it back. But I love the effect of this, the oil wax over the milk paint. It makes it so smooth and just beautiful. I really like it a lot. So I use a chip brush. I make sure I get every nook and cranny, cover it really well with that oil wax, leave it set for about 15 minutes, and then I come back with my gloves on and some shop towels and take my time and make sure and get all of that oil wax back off of the piece. Takes a few minutes, but it's definitely worth it, and I absolutely love the effect. And in all honesty, I am super happy with how this table turned out. Think of my projects that I completed for today. I hope you liked them. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to give it that thumbs up. I so appreciate that. And again, if you're new here and you haven't already, I would love it if you'd think about subscribing to my channel and then just hit that little notification bell so you don't miss anything. For Friday's video, we are going to be transitioning over into fall. And I know it's only July, but I need to start working on my fall projects because by the end of August, I need to start building my fall displays. So I am thinking we are going to be doing something with bundt pans. I'm not 100% on that, but pretty sure that's the direction I'm going for Friday's video. So I hope you'll join me for that. Just a reminder, any of the products you saw me use today from Sweet Pickins or DIY can be purchased through me at my website at www.theeclecticcottagespokane.com. I am working really hard to get my inventory bulked up a little bit here, so I always have items available for you to purchase there. And again, if you have a favorite project from today's video, I would love to hear what that is, so let me know in the comments below. Thank you again so much for being here. I really appreciate you, and I hope you'll join me on Friday. See you then. Bye.